Chad?
Chad, the PA.
Chad set it all up, and now we're pressing the button.
All right.
Press play.
I was going to ask.
Oh, yeah, no need to ask. I can hear the drumming from here, though. It's awesome.
Hilarious.
Welcome back. Mrs. Ryan, turn some lights on in
Fantastic.
here. Get some shit going.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What is happening? Oh, it's a little crooked. Oh, boy.
I think it
Earthquake in
stopped
here.
raining.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Finally.
Start there.
That's so funny. All right. Well, we've got a big day today. Mrs. Ryan. All right, everybody else, welcome back. Today is Wednesday, February 6th, 2019. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and it's tonight's show. Excited because our good old friend Richard Chassler is back.
So good to see him.
Back. He's here today. He's been very busy, and he's been very busy working with us on the show, production-wise, behind the scenes. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff. Also, we're going to hear what the heck he's been up to, because it's a lot. Mrs. Ryan, how did you enjoy the film festival yesterday?
I thoroughly enjoyed the film festival yesterday. You're so good at capturing the moment, and I think that's what is so hard to get across to people sometimes. It's like it's not just capturing video when you shoot. It's like when you're in the moment. So it's not just what you see. It's somehow you are able to capture what you feel or the essence of the feeling of events and stuff. And
yeah, I don't know the answer to that
time.
either. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you very much. I guess that's perhaps why I'm often uninterested in shooting what other people are shooting. People are looking at the picture, and that's so awesome because that's obviously the point. Somehow I don't really see the picture. I can't really take the pictures that everyone else takes.
Right.
But I can take these other pictures that are like neat and unique for their own reason, whether it's the lighting or the mood or the... I mean, for lack of a better, I can't see aura or anything, but like for lack of a better term, like the energy of whatever's going on.
yeah, you nail that every time.
Oh.
You say that a lot when we're out. It's like a one-shot photo that like you don't ever seem to expect anything, and it's the best photo you take all day.
Oh, where I'll see a moment and I'll just like even out the car window, a lot it'll happen where I'll just see something and I'll whip my phone out the window, not even looking at it, and just get the snap, and it's a oneer, obviously, because of whatever, and then you look and you're like, that's amazing. Thank
Perfectly
you. Thank
framed.
you, universe.
Everything I wanted in a photo.
Cool, motion blur and everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you.
Well deserved.
That's what you thought of the film festival. Anything else for the hellos? I'm trying to think. Anything top of show?
No, I got no.
Really? Okie doke. Let's move the train on down the road then, Mrs. Ryan. I'm trying to think of what we want to start with first. I think we should probably just do a little. It's tonight's short film. This comes to us from our good old buddy Chester. I'll tell you more after. Roll it, Hal.
ZUFFENHAUSEN is the city where Porsche is built. So we brought ZUFFENHAUSEN to San Gabriel Valley.
I've been to a lot of Porsche Club events throughout the country, and for the San Gabriel Valley region to come up with Santa Anita Racetrack, it just makes a lot of sense.
I'm mostly on the west side of LA, like Malibu area, West LA, west of the 405. But yet, look, here we are, all the way out past Pasadena, and there's another thriving Porsche world out here with beautiful roads right up in those hills, and it's great.
What are you doing? I'm cleaning till the last minute till they tell me to stop.
People like to polish their cars, and that's all cool, but we go wreck them up there.
My brother was really into cars and motorcycles and built me a little toy that's made out of wood at early 9/11, and I still have it today. I basically knew I wanted a Porsche since I was 8 years old.
We want to thank John Benton, and he's here with the winning car from La Carrera
Panamericana.
We love the dedication John has. He's got a great heart, and he knows how to build these cars.
The race was like secondary. My focus was to get here in time.
That's right.
It was fantastic to be invited to this because it forced me to get out of my very small world of driving and experience that car, surface streets on the 2, on the 134, on the 210. I had a great time.
Big guns are here because of them. This all happened right here.
Mike and Jack right here. They went through it today.
The people that are involved in this culture are knowledgeable and they're friendly, and they actually care about each other. I really feel a part of the culture, and I like to take pictures and talk about the cars and be with my friends and hang out.
Being here at ZUFFENHAUSEN, the car culture is amazing. This was a great event. I look forward to next year and many more to come. Take care.
Well, I didn't know there was a Porsche show. I was here for the horse racing. I'm a degenerate gambler.
You gotta get the stupid shit. That's when
I'm getting
gets really good. There it is.
Yeah, I'm a German car guy, and I don't want to bag on guys who like Ferraris and Lamborghinis. They're a little showy, aren't they? There is a certain douche factor.
The man himself, Mr. Porsche, he went to a show and he saw the low mileage Porsches, and he had sort of a fit about it, saying these are meant to be driven, something like that. That's a really bad German accent, but yeah.
Say that last piece one more time. I just had a little bit of wind.
I forgot.
Oh, did you? I can't smell anything.
Come on, bro.
I
held it all day.
It must have been a little one.
There's a beautiful, what is it, Valley Blue 356 Super 90 over there that is stunning. That has the little registration stickers piled up right from new, right from the 60s right on to 2018, like that. Hangs off the car like this. Coincidentally, this is Zuckerman right there. Guy over here.
May not be much, but it's all I think about.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Where was that?
Where?
Yeah.
At the San Antonio racetrack.
Oh, geez Louise. Sorry about that.
Right in the infield there.
That was really cool to see some faces that I know so well and just hear them talk candidly at the end. It was really fun.
It's super cool. I'm really impressed with how many people they had there as well, because the turnout looked quite big. And if you recall, there were so many things going on that day. We went to 2 or 3 big events.
That's what I meant to ask. When?
Yeah. This was a while ago. It had the date on there. But it was a big event, and it looked fantastic, and I'm sure it was a lot of fun. It certainly looked like a lot of fun. So congratulations. I certainly hope we can make to next year, the next one. I don't know if it'll be in the same place or something different, but it looked great. And it's funny, I was noticing Spike there was wearing the same shirt I have, Carpe gear, Porsche Nut, beautiful.
Nicely
repping
done,
Carpe gear out there, which is super cool. And then I don't know who it was who was interviewing Zuckerman, but I don't know if they could read the sarcasm. I feel like a lot of the sarcasm from those two fellas specifically went right over the heads of the perhaps directing and editorial team. However, very cool that they were there. Very cool. I saw Busy there as well. A lot of familiar faces. Maria and Derek Whitacre, obviously. A lot of people we know.
Yeah.
If I also recall, it was a day, because it was in the infield and there was an actual event going on at the track. It was like you were in for 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And there was, you know what I mean? It was just, it was, logistically, it was a hard one for us. But I wanted to say that was the only reason we weren't there. It wasn't like fucking some shit. Telephone call. I don't know you.
Talk to you later.
I don't know anybody even from that part of the world, so it's a robocaller. Okay, Mrs. Ryan, let's see. We've done that. Let us get down to earth and check in with Brooke and the Kazman.
All right, Brooke. Let's see what's up.
Roll it out.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, Brooke and the Kazman. Hey. Right here. There it is. Live from work at BMW. Weird. Look at there's a shirt. Woo! Hey. So correction. She didn't tattoo her lips. She crazy glued them with crazy glue.
It's a long story.
She cracked a nail and I put crazy glue on it for her. And then she decided it'd be a good idea to bite it. With both lips. That's what happened there. And also Jeff. Yeah, so that was, and we went to dinner with her mom. That was Jeff. Jeff is
my stepdad.
Stepdad. There you go. There's the correction of that. Just want to make sure you guys had everything right. And we're good. She's not tattooing her lips anytime soon. She's fine with that. And that's it. We'll try to give you some more East Coast love for the Brooke and the Kazman show on It's Tonight Show. Love you guys. Bye.
What a nerd.
Well, I mean, there's some relief, obviously.
Yes.
Didn't tattoo the lips. I obviously went and listened back to it last night, so I made sure that the YouTube, the captions or whatever said the right thing. I mean, is it better? I don't know. Is it worse? To me, it's one of the. I can see this thing.
The explanation
but man,
helps.
If I had, yeah, it does. I guess because I was like, did she think it was chapstick? I couldn't picture.
That's what I went. I saw right before I went to bed. I was like, what, were you gnawing on a tube of super glue? Like, what's up? I don't understand. It makes sense.
Anyway, we love them, and I hope your lips feel better.
Yeah.
Kazman, you're keeping good company over there. That's all I know. I don't have to turn any machines on today. That was the funniest part of doing that edit, though, when I watched that back. All hell broke loose. All right, let's check in last video over here behind the orange curtain. Check in with Paul Kramer, who has got a little bit of a lesson for us. Roll it on the 928 Hal.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Ryan. This is Paul Kramer from AutoKennel behind the orange curtain. I'm standing next to a 1989 Porsche 928 GT, which most people don't know is one of the rarest and best 928s we ever got in this country. It was essentially the European Club Sport rebadged as a GT option. They only brought, I think, less than 300 to the US and less than like 75 to California. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's one of the lowest production. Best driving 928. So as I'm going through this car, which by the way, the previous owner was a couple that were songwriters and wrote music for Captain and Tennille. So you can cue their music right now. But as I'm going through the car with all the records and some of my favorite things to do, they have in here the Porsche Boutique and Accessory, which is from 1989. So you could equip yourself with some of these snazzy looking outfits with belts, shorts. Check out that leather jacket. You can almost hear John Travolta in the background. But as you go further into this with your tie clips and tumblers and mugs, I really want to find out where these accessories are. Check out the surfboard, the ski racks. Oh yes, and even more importantly, a wide selection of car bras. So, I'm gonna call Porsche up and order mine today. See you guys.
Oh man, I love it.
I want him to read me every car magazine there is.
Well, on that subject then, Mrs. Ryan, it brings us to the question that's on everyone's mind. What's going on?
Oh, man. Okay, the state of Hawaii wants to keep raising the legal smoking age, which I'm fully on board with.
Yeah. Smoking, it doesn't go there.
It doesn't go there. It feels weird. I used to smoke. I'm not judging it.
We used to smoke there.
Yeah, and it always horrible. Felt weird when I did and whatever. But kudos to the state of Hawaii. It seems like they're ending an environmental forefront attack of making it about humans, but they're basically last year or 2017 was the year that they raised the ages to 21, and they want to
higher than 21. They want to go.
Oh yeah, they want to essentially make it illegal to have cigarettes there at all for anyone of any age. They're raising it. They want to raise it. There's a bill.
You're enthusiastic about that.
Really excited about it. Well, okay, a bunch of things. Health-wise, it makes sense, but they want to raise it to age 30 in 2020. 40 in 2021, 50 in 2022, 60 in 2023, until it's 100 in 2024.
All right.
They're bringing attention to it because it's really bad for the oceans when people put cigarettes in there. So I think that's what it's about. But
Yeah, the runoff is, I would imagine, terrible. Like all of that, the toxicity that's in there. Right?
The filters are really bad for the environment and fish that eat them and stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to say, what is it in the? It's all the toxicity in the filters, right? It's all of the stuff from the cigarette that was kept out of your.
No, it's the physical makeup, like how a filter is made. It's bad.
Fiberglass. Is that it? What's the, I'm asking.
The shape of the filter gets caught in fish, so it's killing them. But it's doesn't seem probably. Yeah, you're right. All the stuff they take out of cigarettes. I just asked an industry friend about this. I'll just leave that there. I asked an industry friend about this yesterday. Apparently, there is no host for the Oscars this year.
Mm-hmm.
Officially.
Are you new to that? Oh, I see. I thought it was official when Kevin. And then they've all these memes about no host, no host.
No, I've been reading up. They were like trying to find it. They offered it to other people who turned it down.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And like,
did they turn it down out of respect for Kevin?
No, just like
they didn't want that
it's too
job.
much hassle, man.
What do you say, Chassler? He looked over.
I want to do it.
You want? Oh, you want to host?
I think it would be brilliant if they had a total no-name, unknown person from the industry who knows enough to actually be able to do the job. Like a comic, for example.
Yeah.
Who no one ever freaking heard of.
I don't disagree.
Everybody would pay attention. They'd be sitting on the edge of their seat. It would be one of the most widely watched, highly critiqued. You would be under the microscope of all microscopes. You would have to open with, I smoke weed and watch tons of porn. That's because that's certainly going to come out the next day about who was this guy. You know?
It's a hard sell. I don't know if it's the right one, but it could work.
It could work. Well, so could the way it's going now is no host, and so the last time this did happen was '89, which was not.
What happened in '89? Oh, the Gulf War started in '89. What else? Oh, is that what it was? What happened in '89 that would prevent a host?
There was a lot of industry controversy about their ideas about a host and how the show was going to be put together. So it ended up working out best that there was no host.
I've seen them do multiples before, right? Where they'll, well, certainly co-host, but certainly where they've, maybe not. Maybe that's a different award show.
They did that with, and I don't know, actually. There's been multiples before, but just, this makes me want to watch it. Kind of speaking to whatever everything Richard said of like the inmates are running the asylum. It could be interesting.
The show's still going to be produced. I don't know why. I don't know what that means. The show's still, it's going to be more tightly produced than ever before because there's not a guy up there. There's no ringleader on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just
it will have to be. I think the shit show everyone's expecting will not happen.
Well, that'll be boring. If that's
it's going to be the Super Bowl all over again. Can we?
All right, then fail. But
no. I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
We'll read about it. Everyone can relax though in the meantime because some of the old purported beliefs that marijuana causes low sperm counts have been debunked as just like anecdotal, like this is what we say.
That's wild. That one always sort of made sense to me. And then it's kind of like, it makes everything kind of relaxed. Like, well, you know what, though? But I was always wrong about that. That's what we were taught to believe of the, it makes you less productive.
Yeah.
Like in every way.
Yeah, they're looking at like who was studied then to make such statements and stuff. It's pretty interesting. It made me laugh.
When you got, we see this every time, but when you got sick, my eyes opened differently to it, completely differently. And I mean, 180.
Totally.
It was never my thing, and now I see it as being the thing that keeps you going. And it sounds so weird for me to even hear myself say.
Yeah, it definitely seems weird. It makes me look at all these studies differently of like, what are people looking at? What are they paying attention to? What was their bias when they were reading the study the first time? Like,
yeah, anything's possible up here. All the other stuff is just variables.
Totally. And then lastly, this is the neatest thing for me. McDonald's in Australia is really taking the reins on like, all right, no more toys and nonsense. They're making a whole new series of edited Roald Dahl books.
Oh, Roald Dahl, the famous, I think, James and the Giant Peach. And certainly more famous ones than that I can't think of right now.
That's the one I remember, and there was one before that, the title of which I forget, but people talk about the BFG and Matilda and those ones, and so they're making condensed versions of those books and with stickers and activity things for kids that are going in Happy Meals in Australia.
I think that's nice.
I
Good
love
for you
it.
and very positive. Bravo. And that's been What's Going On.
Yes.
It's time, Mrs. Ryan, to take a quick break and get our old friend Richard
Oh,
Chassler in
right.
here. He is the first guest of the second season. He is doing his. Is this a live Instagram right now, or is this just a feed? Oh, just taking photos. Richard Chassler will be in here right after this. More to come. Don't go anywhere. See you in a few. Well, it was an extra long break, but we are back with Richard Chassler, who looks fabulous.
Thank you.
What's happening, man?
Am
Welcome
I
back.
blending in with the chair?
No.
No.
Am I a floating head?
No, we've improved our
Do I look
lighting and
fat?
production in general since you've
Yeah,
been
it's
here
all
last.
different now.
No, I know. It's fantastic. What's going on here?
Your help behind the scenes has allowed us and helped us very much and allowed us to focus on things that we needed to focus on over here.
Yeah.
Your help with booking.
Like craft service.
There is afterwards.
Yeah.
Fresh homemade chocolate chip
like
cookies.
craft service.
But no, it's helped us, focus on other things, and it's helped us be able to advance the show. Do you want a mic here?
Sure, I can use one.
There we go. Now he's playing tricks. How you been, man? It's great to see you.
Goodness gracious. I've been good. First of all, the guy with the program, the 928.
Oh, Paul, yeah.
Okay, so what is that? What did he call that? The Branzini 928? The Bellini 928? Was that some kind of special 928?
It was some special one, yeah.
Because that was always the car that, like, you looked at and you're like, kind of like the 944. Like, those two models.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my dad wanted to buy a 944.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the Porsche dealership.
What year would this have been? Like about?
81, 82-ish.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
So it would have been kind of new, like it just came out,
yeah.
probably. Okay.
And he wanted to get the 944. He was getting out of the Cadillac Seville.
Holy smokes!
And he was also getting out of...
That is a different car.
Yeah, and, well, he was also getting out of the marriage. So I think he kind of wanted to, like, up the game a little bit. Well, he was moving to Marina Del Rey. The shirt button opened one more. The gold chain was showing. You know how that goes back then,
He became the most interesting man.
Yeah, he was a disco dancer.
Was he legitimately, or just
everybody was a disco dancer?
The collar and the whole thing.
Everybody back then was a whole. My bar mitzvah was a disco theme in 1978.
Oh no!
So your dad was looking at one of these cars.
It was so cute.
What were you going to say about the 928 though?
So anyway, we go.
They were the less desirable. Is that what you were going to say?
Well, yeah, that
I had a 944 when I was. This sounds terrible, but a long time ago, and it was not. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world because I coveted it. I wanted it. I finally got it.
Right.
The whole thing. I got made fun of left and right by anybody who knew anything about cars.
Yeah, we rolled into that dealership, and my dad's like, he wants to get the 944, and we test drive it. We get back to the dealership. My dad goes, all right, I'm going to take it. Yeah, but I want it in automatic.
Ooh.
And the salesman goes,
sir,
nuts? My dad's like, well, you know, my dad was the kind of guy that would, like, no matter what the score of the game was, at the top of the ninth, be like, come on, let's get out of here and beat traffic. What are you, insane?
I love that guy. I'm that guy. I love that guy.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Nah,
this game is not over.
This doesn't do it for me.
This game is. So my dad is like, well, you know, at that time, what was it, 39, 70? It was like 40. You know, I guess shifting at 40 for him was out of the question, you know?
Yeah,
which
and
is
it was-
odd
it was
because
a
I'm
really
still
high
mountain
tunnel.
biking and water skiing, and, you know, shifting to me is like not a big deal.
It had that high tunnel too. I mean, it was, you know, there was a thing to it. I can understand.
Yeah, he didn't. He wanted it an automatic, and the guy told him to go buy a 280ZX or a 300ZX.
Right.
He goes, if you're not going to buy this car in an automatic, just go buy a 300. I'm not even going to sell. He said, I'm not even going to sell it to you.
Oh, that's the funniest.
Yeah,
He
the guy
got
wouldn't.
denied.
Wouldn't sell my dad the car.
What state was this?
California, right in Encino. Merlin Olsen, Porsche. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
where the Jews shop.
Apparently, there was something about that one being a very specific blah blah blah.
Merlin.
What?
Merlin Olsen?
No, that guy in
944.
that car. I thought that yeah. But I see it now. I understand it was just a mechanism.
The
to get to
928 was the
944
car
story.
that went
I'm getting
off
it.
the bridge in Risky Business. That was the 928, right?
Did it go off a bridge? It got.
Yeah, didn't it stop and then it goes and it rolls? Doesn't that though? And the whole movie
I
is
don't
trying to
remember
make
that
the
movie.
money to fix the dad's Porsche.
I thought it was to get the egg back and all that stuff, but I think you're right.
No,
That's
the
why
egg-
they have the
the
party
egg
to
got
could
stolen
fix
at the party.
Yeah, you're right. So it was the Porsche first.
Act 3 was the recovering of the egg.
Joey Pants was in that too.
Joey Pants was in that
with
yeah.
Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah, he's a
fellow
rich man-
Wiltonian.
He's a rich man's Rich Chassler. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that. Do you guys? Are you up for the same parts? Do you
well,
see each other
I
a
could
lot?
easily do this everything he does, you know. So I
Oh,
always
I
bill
could have seen
myself
you
as
in
a
Goonies, man. That
poor-
would have been great.
Poor man's Joey Pants, you know. If you don't want to pay for Joey Pants, you know, you
Call
get
my
me.
friend.
Call me.
How the heck have you
Hey,
been,
what
man?
Huh?
How the heck? I'm just getting right down to it. How the heck have you been? Because we haven't seen you in a long time. We've stepped it up in here quite a bit. We got a
You
sponsorship with
stepped
microphones
it up
and everything.
In here. You got what's with the micro? Who gave you the mic?
Telefunken, the company here.
Really? They did.
Yep. And
Funkin' nice.
Telefunken good times. But
Funkin'
you have been bringing in some amazing guests and stuff. But you haven't been here in a while because you've been out on the road. Little brass knuckles.
Yeah, this is really cool, by the way. Is that who this is?
Somebody from Brass Knuckles was here
Knuckles.
recently and gave us
Brass
the batteries.
Knuckles.
Actually, yeah.
Knuckles. Brass
of all people.
Knuckles.
No.
Wasn't that a song? Monkey.
Brass Monkey.
Brass Monkey.
I see what you're
Monkey.
doing. It's a whole different thing. Do you want a fresh battery for your
Really?
own pen?
You have one of these?
Yeah, they
They
gave
feel
us.
like leather. That's kind of cool.
It's
Yeah.
wood. It's actually, I think it's like bamboo or something.
Is it
Here.
really?
Yeah. There you go.
Is that bad for the environment?
No, it's renewable resources. It's the most renewable wood.
Does that mean I have to switch out right now?
No, I'm giving this to you
Oh,
to
for
take.
those
That
of
was
you
a
to
pen
take
you're
home.
borrowing from the
Okay,
other room.
For
from
those of
Mrs.
you
Ryan.
kids at home under the age of 21, this is just a tobacco product. But for those of you over 21, this is killer oil.
Did you see that there was a kid who died the other day because his vape pen blew up in his mouth?
What?
Not
that
a-
wasn't
I don't
vape
think it
pen,
was
It was
a-
his boyfriend, and it wasn't blew up. It was blew off.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
That's different comedy.
Yeah. it
Is
was a
that
whole
really
thing.
true?
Mhm.
Wait, but it was like one of those cigarette vape
think so.
cloud
I
things.
think
Well,
so.
that's what you get.
Hmm.
You know, Nicole, you said it earlier. You used to be a cigarette smoker. I know. I used to bum them from you.
Yeah.
Oh, do you used to smoke too? Everybody smoked,
I'm
right?
the OP smoker.
Oh, do you still smoke every once in a while?
Yeah, you know, other people's.
Yeah.
You know? If I'm out and you know, a couple of drinks maybe. You know, yeah, you might walk outside and you're by, hey, let me have one of those.
Right.
You know, kind of thing.
Yeah, drinking in the old days for me. That's what it used to be.
Poker.
Oh, you play
Hard
poker?
to sit at a poker table and not have a cigarette.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a poker player.
Bluffing without a tool is difficult. It exposes your tells. Like there's just nothing. There's no fence to hide behind.
Because you're not doing theater to hide them, right?
Or anything. You need a distraction from your tells, and cigarette smoking is a very good one because it encompasses hands, mouth, eyes. No, like everything that anyone can look at. Like, whoa, hey, who did that? Chad, can we get a...
Luckily, it's only water.
Can we get Chad
The water, and they came
out?
Scotch
Look
guarded.
at Chad, look at that. Dude, you have the best
Good
freaking
job,
PAs
Chad.
here. I'm not kidding. That's unbelievable.
I'm glad it didn't ruin your iPhone.
Are those tissues in case somebody gets into like some heavy conversation about like their parents?
That's what usually happens on this show. And then you
People
come
wind
in
up
and
just
you're just like, hey, everybody, who's ready to laugh?
Yeah.
Isn't he
That's-
going to be here, though, thanks to you?
Not me. Who?
One
Yes.
of the guests that you've got coming in, I think, shoot, I don't know his real name, and that's very... Steve?
Steve Heitner.
Oh, you got Steve Heitner coming in. When is
Yeah.
Heitner coming
But
in?
he played Banya on Seinfeld.
He absolutely played
Later
Banya on
this
Seinfeld.
month, yeah.
I go back.
Soup's not
with
a meal.
Heitner. What'd you say?
Soup's not a meal.
Soup's not a meal.
Go to Mendy's.
Come on, Jerry. Let's go to Mendy's.
Such
The fact
a
that he had that
funny
face that just wouldn't break, and then
character.
when he did it, had that crazy crestfallen psycho look. He was very talented on it.
I go
love
way
it.
back with Heitner.
Really?
Oh, way back, way pre-Seinfeld. Yeah, you can ask Heitner about it.
will.
Yeah, I've known Steve a long, long time, and Steve used to live in a house with two other comics, a guy named Wayne Fetterman.
Of course.
I know that name.
I'm trying to get Wayne to come on the show.
Oh, that'd be great.
And another guy who, Scott LaRose.
Okay.
And Scott, nobody really talks to anymore. I'm not really sure what he's doing, but these guys had a house together, and I used to go over there, and they had a few years on me in stand-up.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. And Heitner, like, these guys were so funny. I can't even tell you. This is going back to, like, the late 80s. This has got to be, like, 88, 89, 90.
Are you new at that point?
I
mean, you've
started
been
in
working,
86.
but okay.
So I started working.
First couple years.
I started in 86. I guess I did my first paid gig maybe a year later, 87. And then 88, after Paramount fired me from guarding their gates, I went on the road full time. So by early 88, I was on the road full time.
That's so funny. I always forget. You and Mark Price.
23.
You
I
and
was
Mark
like,
Price.
yeah.
It was, what was it? It was, of course, his show with the Michael J. Fox.
Family
What was it?
Ties.
Family Ties. And then it was Cheers over there at the same time,
Family
right?
Ties, Cheers. In fact,
They
Michael
were on the
J.
same
Fox,
row over there, that sitcom row.
Michael J. Fox and I really want to see him. We palled around a little bit back in the day, and one
I
night,
think a lot of people did back in the day.
One night, well, I was lucky because I was on the lot 5 days a week.
Oh, I bet.
So I got to actually. Mark Price and I were friends.
You also had access to everything,
And
quite literally, with a key, probably.
Are you kidding? I had keys to everything.
And you're the literal gatekeeper.
I had keys. Here, I'll do my first bit. I had keys to everything. I had keys to all the offices. I had keys to the sound stages. I can go in. I would smoke pot on the Starship Enterprise.
Isn't that funny?
I would. I'd sit in the captain's chair, get stoned, pretend I was Kirk.
Oh my God.
Then I'd do an impression of Kirk and Spock. Oh yeah, I had keys to all the offices. I'd go in, read scripts, sometimes take the liberty, rewrite a few.
Oh my God.
You've seen Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy. Big movie, my ending.
What are you talking
I went in, I had keys to the offices. Who's gonna know?
Oh, I see.
No, literally, I wrote these jokes when I was 20. Like, that was my first.
That's pretty good,
When
though. Like, who would know? You know, I went in
couldn't
there.
make it funny, though, back then. I didn't know how to deliver the.
Sure.
They're perfectly
But
written.
the premise is good.
Perfectly written jokes. I could not make them funny back then. Now
that's
they're
so
pretty funny. But yeah, my very first bit I ever wrote was about being a guard at Paramount Studios. And
Did you ever get any backlash from it, or you weren't big enough yet at the time to
backlash?
From talking about stuff you used to do as a guard at Paramount
No,
after the fact.
They can't. I have pictures of me smoking weed on the Cheers bar. I have pictures of me
No
in
way.
uniform. Oh, I'll bring them on next time.
I would love to see
I
just
will
pictures
bring
of you at the
Now,
Cheers bar.
If I broadcasted
How cool is that?
them. Oh, I have pictures of me in the Cheers bar, pictures of me on the Starship Enterprise.
I'd love it.
I have
You know,
a picture
come on,
of
look
me-
around here, man. That's my shit.
I have a picture of me with a pipe in my mouth on the Enterprise in my uniform, pointing at a sign that says,
Oh.
keep hands and feet inside transporter, no smoking.
Oh, boys.
Are you doing breaking all the rules?
And oh yeah, I had keys to the stages. Like literally, the fact that you said that just triggered.
You have all the flashes right now.
Oh my god!
All the places you went into.
Oh my god! I did.
That's how I learned everything too back in the day.
Secretaries, you name it.
You would be friends with everybody.
Oh, first of all, yes. Not only did I meet people, and and everybody wanted to be friends with me.
Mm-hmm. God, that's so funny.
Michael J. Fox.
Was Soul Train still there?
No, Soul Train was gone, but Solid Gold was there.
Oh, Solid Gold.
Solid Gold was there. Yeah, Webster, Solid Gold.
Oh, Webster was a good one too. Emmanuel Lewis. Oh my goodness,
they made a short-lived television
based on the film.
Yeah, with Geddy Watanabe.
I don't remember Gung Ho being as big of a.
It was a very short-lived TV show. Wings started.
Oh, I love Wings.
Wings
used to love Wings
at Paramount.
Thomas Hayden Church started on Wings.
Thomas Hayden Church and
Tim Daly and Steven Weber, and you got that Crystal whatever from Happy Days. Crystal Bernard.
That no talent Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
Who, by the way,
nothing will ever happen to him. Antonio, the cab driver.
If you're not watching Miss Maisel, you're blowing it.
Oh, it's a great show.
So
great show. Here's this is one of those things. I loved it when it was nobody had seen it, and now everyone fucking. Oh, you should see this show.
Oh, I was way late to the party on that one.
But those situations bum me. I liked Chris Rock a long time ago, before like people knew who Chris Rock was.
Chris Rock
then it was everyone started talking about Chris Rock. Well, for me, I grew up with it. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. I wore the tape out. I loved that movie. I'm not saying why or whatever, but I just did
because it was funny.
It was so funny to me. I got it. I got the humor, and the other stuff that was being played for my age range was so ridiculous to me. Inadequate.
How old are you? 41?
Exactly.
Okay, so anyway,
well done,
that's another.
Well
curse.
Called.
We'll talk about that one later.
What do I weigh?
You
won't get this one.
6'2.5", 6'3"?
6'2".
Okay.
On the money.
So I'm gonna say you're
probably not gonna get this. Oh,
190?
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I'm not. What am I? What is this?
No,
this
is the
what
tough
am I,
one.
A clown? I'm here to amuse you.
One.
I don't guess weight. I can't weight. I don't feel age. I can hear, see, and.
Do you want to know for next time?
I'm not gonna buy you lingerie, but go ahead.
About 150.
That's really sad. That's really sad. Eat a cheesecake. You're 6'3".
6'2" now.
Have a pizza.
Yeah, we eat pizza all the time. We eat a lot.
Okay.
This is whatever weight the universe wants me. I don't work out or anything for that stuff. You know what I mean? We do the regular exercise, but
right. Where was I? I was to tell you a story about. Oh, Michael J. Fox and I getting thrown out of the Cheers Christmas party.
Really? That's where we got to? All right, I want to hear this.
We were almost there, and then you pushed it off. But I really wanted to tell the story.
I want to hear it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push it off.
Every word I'm going to tell you is 1,000, 100 million, trillion% lies. So I was a guard at Paramount from 85 to
I don't want to hear lies. Even if it's a joke.
Every word of the story is true.
Oh, I see.
1985 to 87, I was a guard at Paramount. And I became friends with, I had met Michael J. Fox before I started working at Paramount, about a month beforehand.
Unrelated?
Totally unrelated. Okay. I was basically homeless, living in my car. I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. I wanted to be an actor. My parents had totally written me off and said, like, good luck. Yeah.
You moved out here the whole thing?
No, they were out here.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Very supportive Jewish parents. Not getting thanked at the Oscars. Love them. I'm going to see my mom, but not getting thanked at the Oscars. What are you going to thank me for? Throwing me in the street?
Is this if you get the hosting gig?
Oh, that's a totally different story. Oh yeah, I want to host the Oscars. I think it would be great to have a no-name, totally unknown host the Oscars. People would tune in to watch that, expecting a car wreck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hear the Michael J. Fox thing.
So I was pumping gas at Mobil on the corner of Ventura and Noble, which is no longer there.
Mobil on Noble?
Mobil at Noble in Ventura in Sherman Oaks, and this kid walked in and was like, hey, I ran out of gas up the street, and you think maybe you guys can give me a hand? And like, the guy was like totally rude. Now, I did not watch Family Ties at the time, but I recognized Michael from
something, right?
I just knew he was on a show. You know? And so I said, hey man, that guy's on a TV show. What can I do for you, man? He goes, hey, I ran out of gas, and I was like, you know what? I'm literally out of here in 5 minutes. I'll get a gas can. I'll totally help you out. So I took a gas can from the place. We filled it up. I put him in my car, and I drove him to his car, and we filled up his car. And I dropped my gas can. I went back, whatever.
What kind of car was it?
He was driving at the time a black Nissan 300
Oh, no
ZX.
way. How
yes.
funny.
And
Was it? Must have been automatic.
He was driving a Nissan 300 ZX. And so I was in acting class with this guy who somehow I managed to meet this other guy who was an old guard at Paramount.
Is this when you were back with Stella Adler?
I had just started studying with Stella Adler. I was 20 years old.
Okay.
So I get this job at Paramount. My very first day at Paramount, they hired me part-time, was a Friday night shoot night, and they put me on Family Ties.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
What a small world.
And so I'm like the fourth guard, you know, there's like a lead guard who's there every day, knows everything. So I show up, and he tells me, just stand over by that door over there. I'm on the support stage standing next to the craft service. For those of you who don't know, craft service is a big long table with lots of free food on it. And so I'm standing there like a brand new, and I'm not lying. Michael J. Fox walks up to the craft service table and grabs a couple things, and he looks over at me, does a double take, and he's like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like...
And he knows you. He's more like, how do I know you?
And I'm like, no, I'm brand new. And the one piece of advice my friend gave me was, don't talk to the celebrities, don't talk to the actors, just stand there, do your job. You want to get hired on full time. It's a union gig. I was 20.
Fly low,
you
stay,
know,
stay below the
my parents
radar.
were not paying for me to go to college to major in theater, so I was sort of like...
But your job is to not get noticed.
My job was to not get noticed,
Right.
and all I was doing was standing there.
Now the star of the show is like, hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, do I know you? And I'm like, no. And he's like, I know you. I never forget a face. And I'm like, nah, man, you don't know me. And he's like, yes, I do. I know you. And he's standing there pointing at me, and as he's pointing at me, somebody else sees this and walks over. Someone sees them walking over and starts walking over. And that's about 5
you
people.
know, this is Mrs.
standing
Ryan's old
around
life. You know how
Michael
all of this
J.
works.
Fox trying to figure out what I did to upset him.
Because it looks like he's
So,
reaming you out.
These people are all converging at right about the same time, and they're like, are you okay? And he's like, I know this guy from somewhere. Where do I know you from? Now the head guard shows
But did
up.
you not know at that time?
I
you,
knew,
you did
but
know.
I'm
Okay.
told to...
Okay, but you did know.
Follow the story.
Did you say that?
No.
Okay.
So anyway,
Story tell better.
Right. So anyway, now the lead guard walks over. And he's like, oh, what's the problem over here? Do we got to get rid of this guy? And Michael's like, no. I know this guy from somewhere, and I can't figure out from where. How do I know you? And now I don't want to tell him because I'm going to embarrass him.
It's even worse.
And so I literally look at him and I go, okay, about a month ago, I was working at this gas station. He goes, oh, yeah. And he looks at everybody. He goes, I ran out of gas. And I walked to this gas station in Sherman Oaks, and this guy hooked me up with gas, drove me to my car. Dude, you saved me that day. Like, thank you. Now, I'm friends with the star of the show, the lead guard, angry as could possibly be, because now I've got leverage. Not only can he not tell them not to recommend me, but now he's afraid that I am going to take his job as the new lead guard.
Everything's on the table at this
Meanwhile,
point.
all I want to do is audition for the damn show. So
That's right. The guy just wants to be an actor.
I just want to be an actor. So I didn't even start doing stand-up comedy yet. So
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Michael is like, what are you doing out here? I go, well, that's where... He goes, Jerry, put him in the dressing rooms, man. So I get to sit in the dressing room on a nice comfy couch and chair and watch Meredith Baxter Birney walk through the hallway in her underwear for like 4 hours. And I'm like, right now, fulfilling like 80 childhood dreams.
Can't even imagine.
What, Meredith Baxter Birney in her underwear? #1.
Wow. I can't even imagine.
Kidding?
That's like a Forrest Gump thing, though.
They should have called the show Bernie Loves Bridget in her underwear. That's a Bridget Loves Bernie reference for... It was a show that... Okay. Yeah. It's
I
an
figured it
old
was
show
something
from the
that
shit. David Birney and Meredith Baxter.
Oh, I see.
And then Meredith
Clever.
Baxter... And then David Birney married Meredith Baxter and made her Meredith Baxter Birney.
That's how that happened.
And then
That's
she
how
went
that
back
happened,
at some
right.
point, right?
Bridget Loves Bernie was the name of the actual TV show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew
neither.
Meredith's brother.
Little
I played
TV,
poker with
Let's talk about
him.
Surfside 6. I'm just kidding.
What's...
Anyway,
77, Sunset Strip.
So Michael J. Fox and I now become friends, and it's my first year maybe my second year at Paramount, and it's Christmas time, and all of the TV shows are having their parties on their sound stages on this particular Friday night. Okay, Family Ties Christmas party is okay. But Michael and I are hanging out, and I was off duty, and he's like, let's get out of here, man, and go to the Cheers Christmas party. I'm like,
oh, my gosh, the big budget.
I'm like, all right. So we saunter over, me, Michael, and 3 of his friends. Okay, one of them was another actor named Michael Zorak. Do you remember him? Some chubby kid who was in a bunch of movies back in the day, back in the 80s. So anyway, we all saunter over to the stage 25, knock on the door, and the guard opens the door and says to us while we were pissed drunk, looks at Michael, and Michael's like, hey, we want to come in. He goes, you're not on the list. And then he sees me. And the guards hated me. And he goes, I'm not letting you and your flaky friends in here, and shuts the door. Michael flips out. You and your me and my flaky friend, I'm going to have that guy fucking fight. He flips out. Nancy Ryder comes running over.
Oh. Yeah.
Puts the kibosh on, the lid on that one. Okay, literally capped it like Exxon should have capped the well underneath the Deepwater Horizon. Okay? Seriously, really. That did not leave the lot. It could have easily, maybe it just did.
Yeah, like
35 years later. And yeah, so we got turned down for the Christmas party. She goes over there, fixes it. Only Michael and I can go in. So Michael and I go in. There's a band playing.
This is in the set, you said, too, right? In the stage.
On the set, if you imagine looking from the audience at the Cheers bar, there's the bar, the pool room's over there. There's always these tables on a riser up above.
Where the piano is.
Correct. And there were some extras that were always seated up there. Well, they cleared those off, and the band was up there playing. Now, Rich Chassler has been playing drums since he's 7 and has to sit in everywhere he goes. So I walk up to the band leader, and I'm like, in between songs, and I just interrupt him like, hey, think I can sit in a tune? And he goes like, what? Talk to me in between sets. So I go back with Michael. We're drinking beers at the bar, and I go, dude, I'm going to sit in with the band. You should sit in with me. He goes, what? I go, dude, play guitar with me. Come up and play. Now, Back to the Future would come out. So, yeah, this is my second year at Paramount.
But he learned to play guitar. Like they sent him for lessons.
He learned to play guitar for that movie. Yeah. So he says, no, man, I'm not playing. I go, dude, I'm going to get up and play. You're fucking coming with me. And he goes, go ask. If they say okay, maybe.
But now you just got Michael J. Now you got a guarantee.
They take a break, and I go up to the band leader, and I go, yo, man, me and Michael J. Fox want to come up and sit in.
That's it.
And he goes, what? I go, I tried to get your attention before, but you told... He goes,
now you brought your arsenal.
He goes, okay, so when we come back from break, we'll do one song. I'll bring you guys up. True freaking story. He brings Michael J. Fox and some guy up. Coming to the stage, we got a couple special guests. Please give a warm round of applause. You know, from Family Ties and the new hit Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox and some guy. Swear to God. So me and Michael walk up onto the stage. I sit behind the drum set, and the guy says, what are you going to play? And Michael goes, I know one song, Johnny Be Good and Be. That's all I know. And Michael turns around, he looks at me, and he goes, better fucking know how to play those things. And I go, I'm good. Let's go. And we ripped out Johnny Be Good at the Cheers Christmas party.
That's amazing.
And blew the walls off that place. He did this elongated solo. We were buzzing. He did this raging solo that was so good. Yeah, and we
it's
just
so amazing to me
because
he never, I mean, he probably meant every word he said in that he's never played with someone bad. He didn't play the instrument and learn how to play it with bad musicians. He got taught how to play this song very well by professionals.
By the best.
And then played it with professional
When
musicians.
he was doing Family Ties, he had gotten Back to the Future because they had fired Eric Stoltz. So the guitar teacher used to come to the set of Family Ties.
The blonde guy. He's in the movie too.
And Michael used to take his lessons on lunch break.
He's in Michael J. Fox's high school band in the movie.
Yeah,
he's one of the guys in the background.
He's one of the guys in like the swimming fish or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
right?
the blonde.
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know
the
that.
guy who taught him.
Awesome.
But that guy used to come to the lot. I know he used to come through the gate and tell
So funny.
Yeah.
God, I mean, it's like a time capsule too, because I celebrate all that stuff.
I jammed
I'm
with
such
Michael
a nerd
J.
with all that
Fox.
stuff.
That's a cool
On the
story.
Cheers bar, in the Cheers bar.
In the Cheers bar.
That is so cool
You
to me.
better know how to fucking play those things. I'll never forget that.
Luckily, you did. I would. You brought up an interesting thing, and it makes me wonder. And I actually wrote it on the card to ask you. How do you get introduced when you go on stage? Do you do music? Is it somebody on a mic? Does it depend?
It's different because some places will play you on with music, and they'll ask you, "What do you want to?"
I was going to ask. Do you write your own? Some places.
I tell them. Like, usually a Grateful Dead song. I go up to Truckin' or Casey Jones.
Or like, here's my credits, that type of thing.
Well,
you know him from this, you know him
different.
from that.
That's the MC.
Okay.
Okay, so the music would come from the sound booth. And if you're playing like...
But the question is how you were introduced.
Okay.
We're getting hung up on the music.
Sorry, well, you asked, do I come on to music? So I was trying to address everything in the question.
You're so
Usually
good.
just a couple of credits and my name, Richard Chassler.
Is this one of them? And if not, why not? You know him from YouTube's late night talk show. It's the show. You're a producer. You're a frequent guest.
Great. It is now.
I'm not saying it needs to be, but I want you to take ownership because we're going to take this place. This is not going to live here. This is going to be a big thing.
Good. I want to bring my show here and do it on this set, I think.
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, okay, then we will.
It's just pushing a button and you can have the privacy or whatever. Or
can we drape the desk so it doesn't steal your vibe? You
know, you want to do it on video too?
Well, it's a vodcast. Otherwise, I would have never stopped doing it. We used to do it on the John Lovitz Comedy Network, now defunct.
Yeah.
It was a great show. It was called The Grapes of Laugh.
Yeah.
And I was the host, and it was a regular talk show.
Some of our guests were guests on that show, and we've actually talked about it.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Did they like it?
Yeah.
Most of them.
I kind of want to know who didn't.
Me too. I don't remember.
That's hilarious.
No, everybody did. Some people weren't sure if it ever aired, and I was like, no, they
Oh,
all went up. They all went out. I said, just ask Chassler.
You've
got, I'm sure, a record of them somewhere.
Absolutely, they all aired, but they won't give me the guy who was John Lovett's partner. Kind of absconded.
The whole thing went sour.
The whole thing went sour.
You're not alone in that. There was a ton of people on that list. We knew somebody who used to do them up there as well. Yeah. Are you? So is a location the only thing holding you back from doing it?
I can't find a good vodcast studio that doesn't want to charge me like $500 an episode or something.
Right. That's actually pretty cheap. Why don't you just come here and do it for free?
That's what I'm saying. Well, my initial thought was perfect. Then my second thought was, well, I kind of feel weird if I'm stealing there.
We shoot it differently. We'll shoot it differently.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we could. Because there's also a performance. Like I have a musical or comedic guest. You know, I mean, it's like a little bit of a. Imagine a Conan O'Brien setup with wine tasting. So it's literally a 1 hour talk show.
Yeah, that's
you could still do it here because
my interest feigns at that point. Because then it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna babysit a bunch of drunk people doing a thing in my decorative thing here. You know what I mean?
Drunk people, it's tasting.
Oh, just tasting?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, tasting's different.
Always left. No, I'm left with crazy amounts of wine after every show. Like,
is that true?
Yeah. We used to do.
I just am picturing you guys getting sloshed.
No. We're
really?
tasting through. They give me 4 bottles of wine per show. How are you going to drink 4 bottles of wine in an hour with 3 guests?
No, that's my point.
You can't
try.
No, we just taste.
I'll introduce you to some people.
Yeah, you're talking to one, but I can't do it on my own.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll
talk about it.
Yeah, we are adding music to the show as well, but we're not doing any of that shit here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're adding live music to the show, but we're doing it at a studio and we're going to throw to them and stuff like that through Telefunken, as a matter of fact.
Well, you guys have space to do it, and you can literally turn around and do it right against that backdrop.
It depends on what you're talking about. I'm not where we are. We don't live in a house in the plains somewhere. You know what I mean? This is a condo in Toluca Lake, so it's a matter of what I'm looking at.
Guitar or acoustic, and it's
that's lovely.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's very self-contained. We'll talk about it after my segment.
Oh, he doesn't want to eat up his time here. Don't you want to let people know what you're working on?
Okay, sure. As long as you're done with your blue cards.
Oh, I haven't even looked at it. All right. You have brought some amazing people here. Just that came to mind this morning when I was writing this card. Very recently we had Al Descharme, Flip Schultz, and Earl Skakel all within the last couple of weeks. There are far more names than just those few, but they were the ones that came to mind as especially delightful conversations.
Those guys are all great.
These are people that came through you, that you booked on the show, as you're producing now. How is that coming to you? How does that roll? Do you enjoy that role?
I love it. It's great. And I love being able to tell people, like, just trust me, you're going to have an amazing time. Just
really?
Trust me. And everybody emails me afterwards and went, that was great.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Everybody.
for me, it's you're an in front of the camera guy. You're the host. You have your own thing. You know what I mean? So being a producer is a kind of a gear shift for you. Have you produced in the past anything?
Yeah, I have produced in the past. Actually,
Okay.
I produced on camera and I produced radio, and I hate it more than anything in the world.
Is that why it comes naturally to you? It's very easy. Yeah.
Everyone tells me I'm a very good producer. I'm good at recognizing people's talents and then inspiring them to use them. I'm good at putting people together. I'm good at getting shit for free. So
that's
immediately I'm a good producer.
Check.
Right. So I'm a very good producer, but I hate it. I don't like being in charge of people. I don't like being the guy that people have to constantly come to. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's just I don't have the temperament. Some people have very smooth shoulders. Mine have gotten much smoother as I've gotten older, but
mine have gotten the opposite.
Yeah, I don't. But
I used to do that job well,
but you
and
did
then,
it, and it wore you thin. That's the thing. I'm just not.
I never liked it. I always secretly wanted to be, doing something. I always secretly wanted to be talent, and
Really?
I never, admitted it.
Wow. Yeah, everybody thinks that. It's such a funny thing. What do they say? Poor man want to be rich, rich man want to be king. King want to be the director.
It's always something.
You always want to do something else. But the thing about talent, and this is what nobody seems to understand, everybody on set, everyone sees the talent and they go, I want to do that. I can do that. They have no idea, A, how hard it is to be incredibly good at one art form. Forget being good at several, okay? It's really, really hard. And these people who they look at us and they're like, oh, I can do that. It's so much discipline, and it's really, really difficult. And we make it look easy because we're that good at it, And it's like tasting something delicious and wanting to learn how to cook it. And thinking, what? I can learn how to do this. And then they go, okay, you have to coddle the eggs.
Are you putting me in that category?
No, I'm not talking about you at all.
No, I was just curious. No. Because all of this stuff makes sense to me, and I was curious if, being that we're trying to go somewhere with this.
No,
you know what I mean?
I'm not. No, you do a great job here. You've actually come a really long way in a very short period of time since I've known you.
Now
And
now
hosting,
it sounds like I asked for that.
And hosting is hard. Hosting is hard because it's the equivalent of being a parent. It's never, ever about you. Oh. Ever. Under any circumstances. And the minute you make it about you, you've stopped making it about the guest. And it's always about the guest and the show.
Listening?
Yeah, it's listening, and I think being a good listener is extremely important to be a good host. And again, I think so if somebody says something and you go, well, are you talking about me? No one's ever talking about you.
Oh, I know, but
so you should never ask that question because it isn't about you.
But I asked about me. I specifically said about me, who was somebody who always
you
wanted
to be talented. So, and I said, it's funny when you're on set, like everybody, I purposely took you out of the equation by saying everybody looks at the talent and says, I want to do that. Because I didn't want you to feel singled out in what I was about to say.
Oh, I didn't feel singled out.
Okay.
I was curious if you included me in that because I don't. But you apparently do, and that to me is, there's no problem there.
Look, you're a trained drummer. You grew up as a talented kid. I don't know what your theater training is. I have no clue.
Okay.
I know that you play the drums, so clearly you were born with some talent.
Performance ability.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Understood.
I mean, there's some people who have performance ability but horrible stage fright and can't walk out on stage and then take that talent and that ability and convert it into performance.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Because
different types of art.
How many actors do I know that go to class relentlessly and have a headshot and call themselves an actor, but they don't audition for plays, they don't do any theater, they don't do anything in order to get themselves working professionally, but they just call themselves an actor?
That's a lot of people in a lot of professions, right?
It's a lot of
people that aren't doing the work to move themselves forward.
Look, everybody in life is generated by two things, okay? Two things, fear and love. Those two human things are what
motivate
every single solitary person to get out of bed every day. And it doesn't matter if you're a mass murderer or if you're a multi-billion-dollar philanthropist trust fund kid, okay, who does nothing but good for the world. Both of those people and everybody in between are motivated by fear and love, okay?
Yeah,
and
I agree.
That's just the way it is. And if
when you cut down to it, I fully agree.
And I can expound on that, and that will be hours-long conversation about the human psyche and how
I feel
we're
like you're
affected
setting us
by-
up for something.
What were we talking about? Why did I even say that?
Somebody who wanted some future like this and performance.
Right. So you could be born with this incredible ability to do something. You know what I'm saying? But you might not even enjoy doing it. You know, these brilliant child pianists whose parents force them to practice 3 hours a day, and by the time they're 14, they're either shooting heroin or they want to run away or they're rebelling because they're forced to do something that they might have been born with the talent to do, but they clearly have no grain in them to be doing it.
Ability and passion are different.
Is absolutely 100% true. And then if you don't want to do something, whenever you're forced to do it, immediately fear is going to kick in because now there's 8 million things that now are at stake for you.
And the mind starts to...
And the mindset, right. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you can get on stage in front of 3,000 people and do it. You know, I mean, I know comics who do open mics. I don't know that they can go out with, you know, me and Nick and open and do 3,000 people at a casino. You know, it
seems like the same, but it's not.
It's not the same because the room is dark and you can't see past the first row and you don't know what to expect and you don't know that you have to wait and it just
there's all the different energies too.
3,000 people. It's 3,000 people. You die in front of 3,000 people, not 3 people.
And it's not an open mic. It's been it's a promoted show. It's people.
A lot of money at stake.
Bought tickets.
Yeah,
to come
and you
see.
think about oh my god, 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 oh my god.
That's the hard part. Is the thoughts that
I went through that
through.
when I started. I was opening for Mark Price. I remember the very, very first time I ever opened for Mark Price when he was Skippy on Family Ties. And it was like a major, I was so nervous, like I almost like couldn't, and Mark and I were friends and we'd been to Laugh Factory together and he'd watched me go on 100 times and the whole thing, but all of a sudden now I'm doing a show with Mark at a comedy club out of town.
I was going to ask, where was it, what your first one? You may have told us before, but I don't.
I think the first place I ever went with Mark Price.
Or just you, your first, if this was your first time.
Oh, my first time ever leaving town was with a comedian named Steve-O, not this Steve-O, the original Steve-O from the Howard Stern Show and Pajama Party, and he was on Star Search, and then he wrote for Rugrats. And so Steve and I met while he was out here doing Star Search at Wayne Fetterman's apartment, and this is 1987, maybe 88, and Steve asked me if I had 15 minutes and took me out for 3 weeks in the Midwest in January in a shitbag rented car. And it was freezing, and I was the opener for him and another comedian named Robin Abb. She was the feature act. And 3 weeks on the road, I learned quick about the difference between doing stand-up comedy in Los Angeles and being funny.
It's a good lesson. At least you got it early.
Learn to write universally the minute you get on the road, and if you fight that, you suck, and nobody's going to like you, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I was 22, I think, when Steve took me out. 21, 22. Yeah, I was a kid.
Is it a wake-up call?
No, because
I
wasn't. It wasn't a wake-up call because I hadn't developed the bad habit. You know what I mean?
Oh, still so new.
It was still so new for me.
Still
it was
teachable.
Just a call. You know what I mean?
You're still malleable.
Yeah, it still took me another 10
habits.
years to get funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. Are you still enjoying it? Do you still enjoy when you go out on stage?
I enjoy
Seems like
it
a silly
now
question.
in a way like I almost never have before.
Really? What's the difference? Oh, sorry, Mrs. Wright.
No, that's the coolest thing I could hear.
Great answer, yeah.
So I'm so glad. But I do want to know.
You have to remember, the end of February, I've been doing it 33 years. So
oh, my God.
I've been through several stages of my act and my comedy and my relationship to
I'd almost think
comedy.
you, right? Even Richard Chassler's probably gone through in 30 years.
Absolutely. I'm not the same person I was when I started. And I'm clearly not the same person on stage, though if you watch tapes, you'll certainly see similarities. You know,
lineages there.
Well, your grain is your grain. Your energy doesn't change. You know, I mean, I might work with lower energy, but my energy is still the same. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The metaphysical part.
Yeah. The volume knob is different.
For my deadheads out there. We are everywhere.
These guys, the guy who owns this company, used to follow the Dead as a taper.
Oh, then I need to know.
Grew up obsessed. Still provides microphones for Bob and the team.
Oh, does he? I need to know him.
Very good friends with Fish. Fish use all of their stuff.
I need to know
this is a very big deal for us.
Oh,
and they have a history with Porsche. Back in the day, they used to put the radios in Porsches and sponsor their race teams.
Didn't the Porsche radios used to be Blaupunkt?
Yeah, way before that, back in the 50s. But you're totally right. When in the 80s, the ones we liked were totally Blaupunkt.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
By the way, it took me about 5 seconds to get it.
Really?
I started with A and I ran it really.
Well, but you hit it.
But I hit it pretty quick because I was like, no, it was a German name with a K.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Starts
and then
with
you
a B.
see the little dots, the little logo and the whole bit. That's so funny.
But answer to your question, I have this new hour that I kind of started touring about 6 months ago that I rode over the last 2 years, mostly while I was out with Swartzen, and I really love it. And I'm still making changes to it, so it's still not totally finished yet.
That's awesome.
But, you know, I see, for me, stand-up did not come easy. Not like some people who are natural, just, boom, you just see these guys and you're just like, fuck.
Give me an example of who that happens to. Like, you've
Rock.
seen it a million times.
Rock.
Oh, really?
When I saw, okay, so I was 21 years old. I went back to New York to do stand-up for the very first time. I'd never done comedy in New York City. I started in L.A. when I was 20. I went back to New York. Fetterman got me spots, not even an audition, spots at the comic strip where Eddie Murphy started and Seinfeld started.
I used to watch the show, Comic Strip Live.
Well, Comic Strip Live was not from the comic strip. That
really?
Totally different show.
Oh, sorry.
But Comic Strip on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
Till this day, I just found that out. Jeez.
Was run by a guy named Lucian Hold. God rest his soul. He was amazing. And Wayne just called Lucian and got me a set. And Lucian gave me spots for the whole week I was there. It was unbelievable. It's the hardest club in the city to get into. So Chris Rock was there. And Chris was probably 18, 19 maybe. I think we're like a year or two apart. Oh, this is long before SNL. Eddie Murphy found Chris Rock. Eddie brought Chris to L.A.
Okay.
Chris went back to do SNL. You look at Chris's career, he did some movies, he did Eddie Murphy stuff, and then he went back to do SNL.
Okay.
So I saw Chris at the comic strip one night, and I was like, the fuck is this guy? Now, his act was totally different. He was not doing what he was doing now. It was totally different. You can YouTube it and see, but still, there was something about him that I could see was like, I was struggling to be like that. You know what I mean? And my acting training was like playing tennis and racquetball. You know what I mean? I was going on stage and acting like a stand-up comedian, or like I thought stand-up comedians were supposed to be. Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Right out of Punchline.
Morning radio.
Yeah, like I really, like when I look at it now, I was a freaking morning moron. I really, like, it was terrible. And I had this jacket that I bought at American Rag that was just black and white speckled, and I became attached to it. I couldn't go on stage without it, and I would go on stage.
Because you thought that was your persona?
Well, because it was my opening joke.
Oh.
It was 1986, and I would put the jacket on, and I'd go, I know what you guys are thinking, and I'd turn around, and then I'd go, TV at 3 a.m.
Oh, nice. Static.
Exactly.
Poltergeist,
it looked
sure.
like Static.
Yeah.
But now, first of all, now people are like,
oh, they wouldn't get it.
What do you mean?
It never goes off. Yeah.
What are you kidding me? It's the gift that keeps on giving. But in 1985,
it turned off at night.
That joke crushed. It was my opening, and it was always downhill from there. So I couldn't go on stage without that jacket.
You could rewrite it though, right?
No.
How am I? Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
Back then, no, I wasn't funny enough to rewrite anything. Back then. I'm telling you.
I'm saying now it's still a good joke. That's a funny. Go get that jacket.
Now it would have to be a very specific joke. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I know what you guys are thinking. You feel like Carol Ann from Poltergeist, because I'd have to make the audience Carol Ann.
See, in my mind, Carol Ann's the TV.
Well, the TV.
I don't want to dissect the whole thing,
I know,
but
it
in my
doesn't matter.
mind, you know what I mean? Because she was in the TV. Oh, mommy.
Right. Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
I love that movie.
That was
Either way, you're going to get someone that gets it.
Right.
And so you're going to upgrade your comedy, which I think is a bonus.
Look, I do this thing with Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro in The Raging Bull, and I have to pull teeth to get you guys
to get
know
people
The
to get
Raging
it.
Bull, right?
So old, I know.
But it's such a funny bit.
People don't even remember Meet the Fockers, let alone what fucking Robert De Niro was famous from before he became
because
funny.
You have 8 billion shows on 19,000 trillion networks. I mean, I'm like, really? All this on Netflix? I've got 3 shows. I can't take on more shows. It's inundating. I feel like the proverbial walls are closing in when I go on Netflix just to choose my show, Ozark. Or Orange is the New Black, or whatever I'm watching on Netflix, whatever that show is, or Schitt's Creek, or I'm like,
you like Schitt's Creek?
I think it's great.
Oh, good.
I feel bad for all of those shows I'm ignoring, and I do, and I feel like there's so much
You're
stuff
adorable.
left on the table there, and it's so much pressure that I feel like like in a video store, and it's like rent me, no me, and it's like the shelves are falling.
It was Seinfeld, didn't he? When it was a Comedians and Cards episode, it might have even been Shandling, but he was they were a new burger place opened up, and he was saying, boy, I feel like whenever a new place opens up like that, like I feel like I should go and patronize
other burger joints
because he feels it's his responsibility to to support.
Gary.
It's
Totally
like, hey, that's a good idea.
Totally.
As long as it's not a chain, I'm there. If it opens up, Stu and Sally's Burgers, and like there's Stu out there with a tray with burgers and like trying to give me. I will go support Stu even though I'm vegetarian and don't eat meat. I'll buy a burger for a homeless guy who will then patronize Stu and Sally's by hanging out outside begging, which is fine with me.
What do you have coming up? I know some things we talked about off the air, but I don't know what you can say on the air. What do you got coming up?
Well, we're cutting Kosher Kush now.
Nice.
Which is important, and that's for Jewish Life Television, and that's the show about the kosher marijuana.
How many episodes? Or is it still a pilot?
Well, we're cutting the pilot into 2 episodes.
Okay.
And we just cut some interviews the other day, and it's a slow process, not because I'm not the producer. What can I tell you?
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. It's because we're on 2 coasts, and so it's difficult.
The whole process is just slow.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to lasso it in, and as the director, but
you're working on that.
So we
there
got
a TV appearance coming up. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not.
We're waiting for a date. It's supposed to be doing Conan soon.
Cool. The new Conan. The new Conan show.
The new Conan show.
That's a cool get. I mean, it's smaller. They don't have as many guests. It's a big deal to me. To me, it's a bigger deal than it used to be.
Show?
There are fewer episodes. It's a shorter format. So if you're going to be on it, you know what I mean?
Really?
It's to me, it's a bigger get.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. It's not the standard wheelhouse that people go through.
Maybe he'll take me traveling to Conan in Zimbabwe.
Did I tell you that was the first place I ever worked?
Zimbabwe?
30 Rock Conan.
Oh.
What else do you have coming up? Nice. How do people find you?
Are we done?
Yeah, we're out of time.
That's not really fair.
What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I'll talk about anything you want.
People can always find me at Richard Chassler.
Everything's at Richard
Everything is
Chassler.
always at Richard Chassler.
And you open a lot for Sportsnet. I can say that.
And I'm opening
right?
actually this weekend.
This
there
weekend.
we go.
Where are we going to be? We're going to be in Bakersfield. So hey, Bakersfield, come on out, Bakersfield. Switching the camera 4. Come on out, Bakersfield.
It's a neat spot. I was almost born there.
Let's see. We are we're at the Tembler Brewery on tomorrow night.
Thursday? Starting it's a long weekend.
I guess Friday we're there.
I saw him through the weekend in Bakersfield, and you're opening the whole time.
He said 3 shows in Bakersfield, so I'm going to guess then it's the Bakersfield Theater at the Tembler Brewery.
There you go.
I think something like that. If I'm wrong, call the Tembler Brewery, tell them how much you love their beer, and ask where Nick is playing.
Bakersfield's probably only playing one place.
Google works.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, of all people, about Fuck Jerry. What are you thinking about Fuck Jerry?
Why are people mad at Jerry Garcia?
Oh, I don't think that's the one.
Oh, okay.
You're a comedian. I'm giving you the opportunity. I mean, if you don't want to...
Jerry, yes. My understanding is, and I could be wrong, that it's not an actual person, that it's a company.
Right.
So there's probably an office full of trolls that go on...
It's not a guy. You're not taking money out of a guy's mouth.
You're not taking a guy's mouth. You're taking money out of a company's mouth that supports stealing from artists. I can't put it any clearer. What they do, I'm going to explain this to you. What this company does is they apparently have a room full of people that work for this company that troll social media, specifically comedians like myself, and steal our posts and then post it under their thing without crediting or paying us.
Oh.
That's correct.
It's a repost.
And they don't take it's not a repost. They don't repost it. They literally steal the content of the post and then post it as their own.
Right. Without the little thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing.
Why
but
would
there's
you?
a whole big, everyone's against it.
Yeah.
There's a whole
thanks to Patton.
fuck Jerry. Is it Patton started it?
Patton, I got Patton's tweet, and then I tweeted Patton back and went done.
Yeah.
And then I saw some other comics who had fuck Jerry. And apparently they're down 200,000 followers now since it started last week.
Out of millions. But it's a dent, though. It's a dent.
Well, I think they have like 4.4 or 4.2 million, and now they're down to 4.0 million. So, you know, down is better than up.
Yes,
so
sir.
fuck you, Jerry. Not you, Jerry, but you. Fuck Jerry.
It's good awareness. I've seen awareness of it everywhere.
Look, I tell people.
I didn't know what it was. So.
People don't understand about awareness. They won't read the Monsanto "Don't buy these products" list. They won't read the Nestle "Don't buy these companies owned by Nestle" products list. They don't. They're just so comfortable pushing their carts and buying their fucking Oreos, man. It's like, what do you got to do, man? I thought that the protests of the '60s would have woke the fuck up the country. Isn't that what they say now?
It's a different. It's all happening again. That's a different generation.
Yeah,
it did wake them up, but now they're
so
all
lazy.
living their own life,
gosh.
and now it's the young.
Millennial is Latin for what? I got to get out of bed.
Okay. I don't think I'm a Gen Xer. I don't know what I am. What am I at 41? Born in 77.
I think Gen X.
Gen X, I would say you're probably or Gen Y on the.
I read something the other day that whatever my generation is, it's the one that has gotten forgotten about. Advertisers we're literally invisible.
Yeah, see,
like nobody, we just don't fit in.
I'm 65, so I'm on the.
You are not.
Yeah. 1965.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Born in 65.
I'm on the cusp of.
You see that slightly confusing.
Gen X and I'm on the cusp of Gen X and Baby Boomer. I guess Baby Boomer ended in 64 supposedly, so I'm 65. You know, I could be bleeding border or I don't. You know.
So that's it. I think we're on the same generation, then we're just on the cusp on the others. Each
77. I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still could be my dad.
That was a good year. Just might be. I don't know. Does this smell like your mom? Here. Wait a minute.
Bad jokes, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to do
He
that.
just said, no, I'm sorry. You can't set those up like that and then not expect the guy. You got to punch them somehow.
I'm 41 years old.
How
Even
hilarious
if
would that be?
It doesn't make sense.
How hilarious would that be if I like impregnated some 18-year-old when I was 12?
That part was possible.
Totally
if
possible.
there were any type of odors or any kind of residual anything, it's not going to be around.
Right, and for comedy, we suspend disbelief.
Host's mom. That's weird. Like the host can make fun of his mom, but other people.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay, fair enough.
But the professional comedian should be given a shot at it. That's all.
Fair
That's fair.
enough.
That's fair.
As long as I'm not hitting mom.
Another one.
Like,
Hey-o!
wait. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we all went there. We all went there.
Was
every
great.
single one of us.
That was great. And for those of you in TV land or internet land, you call that simpatico.
I love you, Richard Chassler. You're amazing. We talked about this yesterday on the show, but forgot to mention it to you. There's not going to be a 5-timer club jacket or anything because we realize we do way too many. We do 150 episodes a year.
Am I 6 times today?
This is your 6th. But we realize that it's more like whoever has the most appearances. It's more like you, Al Roker, Marv Albert, Tony Randall. You know what I mean? It's more like that.
It should be.
So-and-so had 87 appearances.
Yeah, basically it's going to be like between me and Alec Baldwin.
Right. That's the other one. But yeah, totally. Yeah, it's the same thing. We love you. Your help behind the scenes has been so helpful. So helpful.
It's
I know
my
that was
pleasure.
redundant.
Your wine is laying down, chilling like Bob Dylan.
Oh, I hope it's still good. I told you.
Oh, I'm sure it's perfectly wonderful. You told
good.
me as long as it doesn't go from temperature to temperature.
It was always stored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mrs. Ryan, I love you so much. What do we have tomorrow? Holy crap.
I love you too. Marco's tomorrow.
Yes, Mark Goldbaum,
Yeah.
and I looked it up. It's magold_photo, MAGOLD_photo on the Instagram. He's going to be here tomorrow, and apparently we're going to do a shoot with our car at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Go ahead.
interrupt you. First of all, yes, I still want to drive your car. I would definitely want to do that. We're going to come out one. I'll come
You
out.
got to
on
come to
Saturday
Breakfast
and
Club.
do
Yeah,
that. We'll do that.
Bring Kevin Rooney because I'm still trying to get Mark Brazil to help me get him up in the mountain with his
Does Brazil
Corvette.
go? Have you had Brazil out?
No, but he is willing to. But the issue is
Rooney's
Kevin
in France
Rooney's
right now.
Okay, but Rooney's car is at Jay Leno's garage, so we need to get to Jay. We need to go get his car, put Rooney in it, and then bring him up to.
Well, when Rooney comes back from Nice,
Yeah.
which will be in 4 months,
awesome.
Then we can make that happen.
That's plenty of time.
That's easy. I'll drive Rooney up. He doesn't even
Beautiful.
have to drive. I'll drive
Then
him
we'll
up.
work it out. Yeah.
But what I was going to say is I have an amazing guest coming in for you.
Oh.
Amazing.
Oh.
Who's not a comedian.
We don't know about it yet.
Who's not a comedian? No, but I'm going to give him a plug anyway because I love him dearly. The guy coming in is not a comedian, but his name is Eddie Burke. And Eddie Burke has been the bartender at the Improv on Melrose for 34 years now, I think. I've known him my entire... Do you know Eddie?
Yeah.
Everybody knows Eddie. So Eddie was bartending with Les Moonves when Les Moonves was a bartender at the Improv, probably sexually molesting girls then too.
I can't wait.
Damn, I shouldn't have said that. Oh well, I don't know.
We were wrapping the show up, and then you took it to do all that.
Yeah. Anyway,
how does it feel?
Pretty stupid. Anyway, Eddie Burke is going to be on the show.
That is amazing.
That's
yes,
really cool.
To regale you with crazy bar stories at the Improv of stand-up comedy. I am now shutting up.
Tomorrow, Mark Goldbaum will be here. Ma Gold photo, and on Friday, of course, we have the Breakfast Club. So that is it. We love you, buddy. I love you, Mrs. Ryan. We love everybody at home. Love one another. See you tomorrow.
Like my career. This is scary.